7 best brain foods for an old person. Eat smart, stay sharp. Food. It fills the belly, sure. But what if I told you it also fuels your brain? You know, folks talk a lot about puzzles, crosswords, memory tricks. And don't get me wrong, they're great. But what most people don't realize is that what you eat has a direct impact on how clearly you think, how well you remember, even how good you feel. Yep, your brain is hungry. And after 60, it's picky. It needs the right kind of fuel. The kind that sharpens focus, lifts mood, and keeps those memory gears turning smoothly. Now, I've spent over 50 years coaching older adults, and I've seen firsthand what happens when you feed your brain smart with the right brain foods. It comes alive again, clearer thinking, steadier emotions, and even that spark of curiosity that makes life rich. So today, I'm sharing the 7 best brain foods for an old person. Yeah, I said it. Because we're not fading, we're refining. Grab your tea, pull up a chair, and let's dive into the first food that's probably already in your kitchen and secretly working wonders on your memory. 1. Eggs, the memory booster. Let's start simple. Think about what's probably in your fridge right now. Maybe sitting quietly in a little carton on the top shelf. Eggs. Yep, good old eggs. You might think of them as breakfast food, something to fry up with a little toast. But your brain, it thinks of eggs as rocket fuel. Why? One word, choline. Choline is a nutrient that helps build something called acetylcholine. It's a neurotransmitter that's directly linked to memory and learning. And guess what? Most older adults in the US aren't getting nearly enough of it. But just one egg packs a choline punch, especially the yolk. That's where the magic is. So don't skip the yolk, all right? Now add in vitamin B12, also found in eggs. And you've got a 1-2 combo for better focus, sharper recall, and even a calmer mood. Because B12 plays a big role in preventing brain fog, especially as we age. And here's the best part. Eggs are easy, affordable, familiar. No need to go hunting through the health food aisle or Google how to pronounce some exotic berry from South America. Just crack, cook, and go. Now I'll share a quick tip from one of my longtime clients, Elaine, 76 years old, sharp as a tack. She scrambles 2 eggs with spinach every morning, adds a little olive oil, and calls it her memory medicine. Smart, right? So, if it's been a while since you made eggs part of your weekly routine, now's the time. Aim for 4 to 6 eggs a week, however you like them best. Boiled, poached, scrambled, even baked into a veggie muffin. And remember, your brain doesn't need perfect, it just needs consistent support. Now, if eggs are like the brain's morning wake-up call, then this next food, well, it's like giving your brain a hug from the ocean. Let's talk about something rich in healthy fats, loaded with brain-loving nutrients, and, yes, straight from the sea. 2. Fatty fish, your brain's best friend. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a nice piece of salmon? Or maybe some sardines on crackers like we used to enjoy back in the day? Well, your brain loves fish, especially the kind that swims in cold water and comes packed with healthy fats. See, certain fish, like salmon, sardines, mackerel, and trout, are full of omega-3 fatty acids. These are the good fats, the kind your brain actually needs to stay in shape. Omega-3s help build and repair brain cells, support communication between neurons, and can even reduce inflammation in the brain, which is linked to memory loss and mood disorders later in life. And here's the kicker. Your body doesn't make omega-3s on its own. You've got to get them from your diet. Now, I had a client named Joe, retired school teacher, sharp as a whip. He started eating salmon twice a week, just lightly baked with olive oil and lemon. After a few months, he said his focus was clearer and he even felt less anxious. Coincidence? Maybe. But science is on his side. In fact, studies have shown that older adults who eat fatty fish regularly tend to have slower rates of mental decline and better scores on memory tests. Not into salmon? That's okay. Try sardines on whole grain toast, canned mackerel in a salad, or even fish oil supplements. Though it's always best to go straight to the source when you can. Here's a little trick. Buy frozen fish. It's affordable, lasts longer, and still packs all the brain benefits. Now, if eggs are your brain's breakfast buddy, and fish is the brain's ocean-born ally, then what comes next? Well, how about something that's sweet, juicy, and naturally made for your mind? That's right. It's time to talk about the snack that tastes like candy, but heals like medicine. Let's head to the berry patch and take a closer look at the mighty blueberry. 3. Blueberries. Nature's brain candy. Now, I don't know about you, but I've always had a soft spot for blueberries. Sweet, tart, juicy little things that pop in your mouth like nature's candy. But here's the kicker. They're not just delicious. They're downright powerful when it comes to brain health. Blueberries are loaded with antioxidants, especially a group called anthocyanins. Those are the same compounds that give them their deep blue-purple color. And what do those antioxidants do? They help protect your brain from something called oxidative stress, which is a fancy way of saying wear and tear on your brain cells. See, as we age, our brain is exposed to more inflammation and damage from everyday living, stress, poor diet, even pollution. And over time, that damage adds up. But blueberries? They act like little brain bodyguards, defending your neurons so they stay healthy, sharp, and firing on all cylinders. One study even found that seniors who ate blueberries regularly showed improved memory and focus, especially in the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for storing new memories. That means these tiny berries may actually help preserve the very things we're afraid of losing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do I need fresh, organic, picked straight from the mountain blueberries? Nope. Frozen blueberries work just as well, and they're usually cheaper. Toss them in a smoothie, mix into oatmeal, or just snack on them by the handful. However you get them in, your brain will thank you. And don't stop at blueberries either. Strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. They're all great, but blueberries have earned that top spot for a reason. Here's a little tip I give my clients. Keep a bowl of frozen berries in the freezer at eye level. That way, every time you reach in, your brain gets a reminder of what it loves most. Now, if blueberries are like dessert for your brain, this next one is more like a shield. Strong, green, and full of the nutrients your mind needs to stay sharp, especially as the years go on. Let's head into the garden and take a closer look at the power of leafy greens. 4. Leafy greens, the brain's shield. All right, let's talk greens. Now I know what you're thinking. Not the spinach again. But hear me out, because leafy greens are not just about being healthy. They're one of the most powerful tools we've got for protecting the brain as we age. I like to call them the shield, because that's exactly what they do. Spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, all packed with vitamin K, folate, lutein, and beta-carotene. These nutrients do more than just help your body. They help your mind. Studies show that seniors who eat a serving of leafy greens a day have slower rates of cognitive decline. In some cases, the brains of 70 or 80-year-olds looked like those of people 10 years younger. That's not hype. That's real science. Why? Well, for starters, vitamin K plays a role in brain cell structure and repair. Folate helps lower homocysteine, a compound linked to memory loss and dementia risk. And lutein acts like sunscreen for the brain, filtering out damaging light and oxidative stress. And the best part? You don't need a giant salad every day. Just a handful of spinach tossed into your eggs, or a scoop of cooked greens beside your dinner, is enough to start protecting your noggin. One of my clients, Mary, 82, swears by what she calls her brain bowl, a quick lunch of sautéed kale, garlic, olive oil, and a sprinkle of Parmesan. Simple, delicious, and and loaded with the good stuff. And listen, if kale's not your thing, don't worry. Try baby spinach in your smoothie or mix chopped greens into soup. The trick is to make it a habit, not a hassle. So if you want to shield your brain from wear and tear, eat your greens, friend. A little bit each day goes a long way. Now, if greens are the shield, then this next one, it's the brain's blueprint. Let's crack open a snack that looks just like your brain and fuels it too. Walnuts. 5. Walnuts, the brain-shaped supernut. Now this one's fun. Have you ever noticed how a walnut looks a lot like a tiny brain? Wrinkled, folded, 2 halves, almost like nature's little reminder of what it was designed to nourish. And let me tell you, walnuts are not just a pretty shape. They're packed with alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that's been shown to boost brain performance, support memory, and reduce inflammation in the brain. Inflammation, you see, is one of the sneakiest culprits behind age-related cognitive decline. It creeps in slowly, clouding memory, slowing thinking, and increasing the risk of conditions like dementia. But walnuts, they fight back. They're also full of polyphenols, antioxidant compounds that help clear out the toxins and protect your brain cells from damage. And get this, research from UCLA showed that seniors who regularly ate walnuts performed better on memory tests than those who didn't. Now, I'm not saying walnuts are a miracle cure, but they're a smart, easy step in the right direction. They're soft enough for aging teeth, easy to store, and make the perfect afternoon snack. Add them to yogurt, sprinkle on oatmeal, mix into salads, or just keep a small handful near your reading chair. One of my oldest clients, Harold, 88, keeps a little jar of walnuts on his kitchen table. He calls them his thinking nuts. Cracks me up every time. But hey, he still beats his grandkids at cards, so something's working. Just be mindful of portion sizes. About 1 ounce, that's roughly 7 whole walnuts, is all you need to get the benefits without going overboard on calories. And if you're allergic to nuts, don't worry. Flax seeds, chia seeds, and even leafy greens offer a nice ALA boost too. So yes, sometimes food looks like the body part it helps. And in this case, walnuts truly are the brain's supernut. But now, let's change gears a bit. What if I told you there's a warm, calming drink that not only lifts your focus, but also helps your mood and mental clarity? Let's brew something special. Let's talk green tea. 6. Green tea, calm focus in a cup. All right, now it's time to slow things down a bit. Let's take a breath and pour a warm cup of green tea. Now I know coffee tends to steal the spotlight, especially in the mornings. And don't get me wrong, I love a good cup of joe. But when it comes to supporting the brain, especially as we age, green tea brings something special to the table. You see, green tea contains a compound called L-theanine. It's an amino acid that promotes calm alertness. That's right, it helps you focus without the jitters or crash that come with coffee. It's like your brain saying, let's wake up, but gently. It also contains just the right amount of caffeine, enough to perk you up, but not so much that it messes with your sleep or makes you feel anxious. But here's the real beauty. Green tea has been linked to better mental clarity, improved working memory, and even lower risk of depression in older adults. That's not just talk. That's real research backing it up. And let's not forget the antioxidants, particularly catechins, which are powerful plant compounds that protect your brain, just like blueberries and leafy greens. In other words, a daily cup of green tea is like giving your mind a warm, soothing shield. Now I've got a client named Barbara, 79 years old and sharp as ever. She swapped her afternoon soda habit for green tea with lemon and honey. A few weeks in, she told me, I feel more focused and less foggy by the evening. That's the kind of shift we love to see. Here's a tip. Brew your tea for 2 to 3 minutes, not longer. That keeps the flavor smooth and prevents bitterness. And if you want an extra brain boost, add a sprinkle of turmeric or ginger. So next time you're reaching for a pick-me-up, try a calming cup instead. Your brain will feel the difference. And now, my friend, we've eaten smart, we've sipped smart. But what if I told you the last brain food on our list is actually a treat? That's right, it's time for chocolate. 7. Dark chocolate. Yes, it counts. Now here's something I think you're really gonna like. Dark chocolate. Yep, you heard me right. Chocolate, real, rich, bittersweet chocolate, is actually good for your brain. And no, this isn't wishful thinking. This is science talking with a smile. See? Dark chocolate is rich in flavonoids. These are plant-based compounds that help increase blood flow to the brain, support learning and memory, and reduce inflammation. That's a big deal, especially as we age, when blood flow to the brain tends to slow down naturally. But that's not all. Chocolate also triggers the release of endorphins, your body's natural feel-good chemicals, and helps boost serotonin levels, which can improve mood and reduce stress. That means dark chocolate isn't just brain food, it's also mood food. Now before you go running to the candy aisle, let's be clear. We're talking about dark chocolate, not the sugary milk stuff. Look for at least 70% cocoa content and stick to 1 to 2 squares a day. That's all you need to get the benefits without overdoing the sugar. You can melt it into oatmeal, nibble it with a cup of green tea, or, my personal favorite, pair it with a few walnuts. That's a brain-boosting power combo right there. And here's a fun little insight. Many of my clients actually use chocolate as a mindful eating moment. Instead of eating it on the go, they sit down, savor the smell, take small bites, and really enjoy it. That kind of presence, it's great for your brain too. So yes, sometimes the best things in life really do come in small, delicious packages. All right, my friend, we've cracked, cooked, brewed, and chewed our way through 7 amazing brain foods. Now, let's take a deep breath and step back for a moment. Because it's time to bring all this goodness together and talk about what it really means for your life. So let's recap what we've learned today. Your brain, even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, still thrives on good fuel. And the foods we've talked about? They're not just healthy, they're powerful. Eggs for memory, fish for focus, blueberries for brain protection, leafy greens for long-term clarity, walnuts for thinking power, green tea for calm alertness, and yes, dark chocolate for a little sweet support. You don't have to overhaul your whole diet. Just start where you are. Maybe it's swapping a soda for tea, or adding a handful of berries to breakfast. The goal? Eat with intention. Give your brain what it needs so you can keep doing what you love, with clarity, energy, and joy. Because growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means learning how to support yourself better than ever before. And trust me, your brain still has so much to offer. If this video gave you something to chew on, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might need a little brain-friendly encouragement today. Whether it's your neighbor, your walking buddy, or your favorite grandkid, we all benefit from feeding our minds right. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in our next video, we'll be talking about daily habits, the kind that keep your mind strong, sharp, and steady, no matter your age. You'll be surprised how small changes can make a big difference when it comes to mental clarity and energy. Until then, eat well, think clearly, and keep showing up for yourself, one smart choice at a time. You've still got a lot of living and learning ahead, and your brain, it's ready for it. I'll see you next time.